Hello everyone and welcome back to another video. My name is Tom and this is Tom's Toys 95. If you are new to the channel, I'm a part-time eBay reseller as well as a video game collector. In these series of videos I like to update you with everything that's going on my eBay store, my reselling journey, what I've bought this week, what I've listed this week, what I've sold, how much I sold it for, and I'll tell you a bit about the item, where I got it from, etc. I like to source my items from charity shops, car boots, Facebook Marketplace, anywhere really that I can get stuff second-hand or brand new, retail arbitrage, things like that in the sale, and flip them on eBay to make a profit. Now, I only sell on eBay at the moment. I don't sell on Vinted or Depop. That might be something that I look to do next year, but at the moment this is strictly just eBay sales, and I run my sales from Saturday morning through to Friday night. So it's now Monday and I am going to go into the garage and pick all of the weekend sales. Now, usually I'll pick them on a Sunday night and we'll have quite a few sales to go through, but at the moment there's only like 4 or 5 sales and we're on Monday, so I've had a bit of a slow weekend. I don't sell a lot of items anyway as I'm a part-timer, but I do try and share my knowledge and what I know with you guys to try and help you out. So without further ado, let's go into the garage and see what I sold. Right then, let's go through the first sales of the week. So we've got 5 to go over, and the first one is a Build-A-Bear workshop, and it is a soft toy plush dog. So I have picked them already because it's cold and I don't want to be in here too long. But this is a plush that I got from the car boot for £1, and it sold for a £5 plus postage. I thought it'd be worth more, but it did. The reason I picked this one up is because it had a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle outfit on, so I've sold that separately, as this is not a turtle, so it doesn't go with the outfit. Someone's just put the bear in the outfit, so I've sold that separately. But this gone for £5, a little bit of profit, but I don't really like buying plushies. They take up too much room and they take so long to sell, so it is a bit of an impulsive purchase, but I'm not really going to be buying loads more of those. The next one also sold for £5, and that is a Nintendo DS game. This I've had for so long. I bought a bundle of DS games a few years ago, and this was in it, and it was quite a rare one in terms of I hadn't seen it before. There weren't many listed on eBay, so I think I put it up for like £10 and it just never sold. I've reduced it over time, and it's finally sold for £5, and I've got the postage on there as £1.65, which it hasn't been £1.65 for years, which just shows how long that has been listed for. So the next item is also another game, and it is a loose Game Boy cartridge. And I sold one of these a couple of weeks ago. I had 2 of these, so I sold them both. And funnily enough, they've been listed for like over a year, and both have sold within a week. And that is Game Boy Gallery, 5 games in 1. I said it before, but it doesn't look like a very good game. No idea what's on there, but the games don't look great. But that has gone for £4.50. It doesn't really owe me much. I think it's a childhood game. I found a Game Boy with a bunch of games, and that was in there, and any game that didn't resonate with me, that I didn't play, didn't really have any nostalgia for, I decided to sell. So I listed all those about a year ago, so these ones have sold now. I think there's only one left, so that's a Double Dragon game. And there's a Toy Story 4 figure which has sold, which I'm pleased has sold because I only paid £2 for it, but it's not worth that much money. And everyone's been sending lowball offers on this. So this is I think it's Officer Giggle McDimples, and it's from Toy Story 4. Her face rotates like this. Cool little figure, quirky character. I think it's like it sits on top of Bo Peep. She's like this big in the film, and it's not a bad figure at all. It's still in the box, but people were offering me like £2, £3, £4. So I rejected all the offers and I stuck to my guns, and it sold for £7.50. So a little bit of profit. Only paid £2, so after the fees I'll probably get about £6 on it. But it all adds up. So the last item to sell this week, or so far this week, sorry, we only just started, but the last item to sell so far are a pair of Heart of Midlothian FC football shorts, sorry. So I believe these are, what size? So size small, they are used. I got £10 for them. Someone sent me an offer. I had them up for 12, they sent me an offer for 8. I countered offered with £10.50 to make it up to 14 all in, because postage is £3.50. And they counted with 10, so I just accepted it. So happy with that. I think those were £4.50 in the charity shop, so I paid up a little bit for them. There was a bunch of heart stuff, and it's a common enough team that they should sell, but at the same time it's not really a team that everyone knows or likes. So that was just a fairly small Scottish team, so it does limit the market somewhat. So I just took an offer on those, and happy to get those gone. I've got a couple of t-shirts and a training jacket out of the bundle that I bought from that charity shop, so all of them cost me about between £3.50 and £4.50 a piece. So those shorts might have actually only been £3.50. I think the t-shirts were £4.50, so not too bad. Double my money after fees, so happy with that. But I think that is everything. Few cheap sales just to start the week, nothing great. I'm hoping to try and get some watches listed tonight. Those are of some value, so I'm hoping to get those listed in time for Christmas. So I'm going to be trying to list some higher value items for Christmas to try and beat the rush. So hopefully anything that I've listed will come through and generate some good sales this week, but we will have to wait and see. So let's hope it picks up, because the sales so far are just like bread and butter items, as people like to call them. So they keep the store ticking over, pays the store fees, but there's not really a lot of profit in those items. I'm going to get those wrapped, take them to work with me tomorrow, and I'm going to try and get them all posted on my lunch break, and then anything else that sells I will chip back in later in the week. Hey guys, so it's Tuesday evening that I popped to Cex on my lunch break today, and I picked up 3 games, so not really too much to go over. There's 1 to sell, in fact 2 to sell and 1 to keep, and one of them will be a bit of a condition upgrade. So let's just get straight into the pickup. So I spent a total of £14, so only a cheap one today. Now one of them is a steelbook, which is pretty cool to see, and it was only £6. And it's actually a pretty cool steelbook. The game unfortunately did not do very well, did not review well, and I haven't actually properly played it, but I've heard it's not great. And that is Gotham Knights, and that is on the Xbox One, and it's £6. So I have this on the PS4, I think it's PS5 sealed, so I'll be keeping that in the collection. So as always, I will most likely sell the disc on its own and then the steelbook separate. However, this game is not worth a lot, it's only worth £6. So disc only, I'll only get like 3 or 4 quid, and maybe after fees like £2. So it might not be worth it to list it separately, so I'll have to work out the prices and see. But this has definitely got some value in it. Steelbook collectors would definitely love this steelbook, as you can see. Really nice, got all the characters on the front, and then the back is just quite plain. And inside doesn't have any artwork really, it's just plain. So I will be listing that, and it does come with a slipcover as well, so it's all nice and complete. So I might just list that as a full game, but usually I like to split them up. And the next 2, I will be selling this one as well, so I'll leave the one for the collection to last. This is Mafia 2 on the PS3, so I do actually have this one, and I've already done a bit of switching around. So there was, I think my version was better conditioned, except the map might have been a bit crinkled, whereas this one was really good condition, so I kind of swapped them over. But otherwise, this was £4 from Cex. I haven't looked at the price on eBay, but I know this game is a decent game, and I know it got a remaster, so the price on the PS3 has probably come down on the original. But you don't see this one with the slipcover and the bonus stuff very often. So in terms of bonus features, I think it is just DLC. So it's this slip here that you won't really find in the regular version, so that slip, I guess, is quite rare, as well as the outer slipcover. The regular map though does come in most of these games. Obviously someone buying on eBay, the cheapest copy is either going to be just the disc or the case and manual, so the fact it's got the map, that's going to add a bit of value as well. Then we've also got the bonus codes and DLC in there, and then I've got the slipcover as well, so that'll probably add about a couple of quids of value at least. So I would expect to get at least £10 plus postage for this game in this condition, so I need to get all the stickers off. So if I can resell that for 10, I'd imagine Gotham Knights is around about a £10 game as well in this condition, and then that will cover the cost of the game I'm keeping for the collection, which is a game that I've never actually completed myself, but that is Skyrim on the PSVR for the PS4. So I am kind of going for a bit of a VR collection. I'm not going to say I'm going for all of them, but I'm going to go for as many cheaper VR games as I can. Unfortunately, this one hasn't been ported over to the PSVR 2, and then I might play it. However, I do have quite a big fear of spiders, and when I first got this when I was younger, within the first mission there was like a spider that jumped at my face and started sucking the screen, and then the first boss fight was a massive spider that come down from the ceiling. So I was like, yep, I'm definitely not playing this game. I had to get my friend to come round and defeat that spider boss, and then after that I was like, right, hopefully it's just dragons. And I was running through a field, and a big like army of like 3 or 4, 5 spiders just started running towards me, and I was like, right, that's me done, I'm never playing this game again. So it's had about 6 remasters since, and I've just not played any of them. And this one on the VR will go probably just in the collection. I probably won't give it a chance, but I'd imagine it's really cool in VR. Graphically it's probably a bit outdated now, but I'd imagine if they did a remaster, maybe I'll suck it up and brave it and play it, but we'll see. But yeah, £4, I didn't think that was bad. The original game goes for 10 on PS4, so the remastered version is 10, the VR version is only 4, so I thought I'd add that to the collection. So those are the 3 Cex pickups, and that's pretty much all I'm planning on buying this week. I'm just trying to get as much listed as I can, so I want to try and list some watches this week. so this big watch bundle I've got isn't going to sell itself until I list them all. So I'm probably about, I'd say, a third to 2/5 the way through listing everything in this big bundle. So I want to try and list as much as I can this week and leading to Christmas. I'm going to book a day off work next week and try and spend the whole day just listing and photographing these watches and jewellery, and just get this bundle sort of cleared as quickly as possible. So later in the week I will probably show you what I've been up to in terms of the watches. Haven't started any just yet, but I will be, maybe not tonight, but probably tomorrow after work. I'm going to start drafting up some of those watch listings, so I'll include some footage when I get around to it. Hello, it's Wednesday, and I just wanted to say that I forgot to record my segment today. So it's quite cold this morning, I was in a bit of a rush and I just didn't get a chance to record. So I picked my items, took them to work, recorded the items like over the top footage, but then I just haven't had a chance to talk about them, so I'm going to quickly go through them now. So we made 4 sales over the last couple of days, and I've got the footage to put over the top. So the only thing difference really is I don't have the actual item in my hand, as it's already been posted today. But the first thing that sold was a DreamWorks How to Train Your Dragon Steelbook. Now I picked this up from Cex for £6, probably about 6 months ago. It's been quite a while since I picked that up, and it has been listed for a long time, but that sold for £11.50 plus postage, so a little bit of profit on that one. The next sale is a bunch of He-Man figures. Now the profit on this isn't great. I think I worked out after I've paid for my postage, made about £5-6 profit. These were £2.99 each in B&M bargains or home bargains, and one or the other. I always get mixed up between the two, and I went in and they were £2.99, and I bought all 5 characters that they had. I think there's a few more in the set, but they are the Netflix animated series characters, so they're not like the classic 80s design, and I think as a result no one really wants to collect them. So I've seen them in game in the bargain bin for like £2.99 as well, so they're approximately £3 to £4 everywhere you go. They're not great quality figures, and they've sold for £25 plus postage for the bundle of 5. So I think I made about £10 minus my fees and postage, etc. So it's not great, but yeah, those are sold. So I'm glad they're gone, because they were taking up like a plastic tub like this in the garage. So that whole tub is now empty, which is good. I won't be buying them again because they're clearly not worth much in terms of profit. The other thing that sold was an iToy. Now it says that there was no game in there, I forgot to check, but I sold an iToy camera, so that has gone as well. So it's just the iToy box with the camera inside, presumably no game, as that's what the title says. So I haven't seen that for ages. I had to look in the garage for that for quite a while because I couldn't find it. I bought that in a game bundle maybe like 2-3 years ago. I think I bought that like the back end of lockdown, so it's been about 2-3 years since I've even seen that thing, so I'm surprised I still had it. So that sold for £6.99 plus postage. Now the next sale was a Nintendo Switch game, which I picked up from the 50% sale in game, and it was £13, £12.99, and I got it for £6.50. So nice bit of profit on it because it sold for £17.40, and that is Hello Neighbour 2. And the buyer demanded that well, not demanded, but they were like, when are you going to post this? They bought it the same day at lunchtime, and I was already working, and they said, are you posting this today? And the answer was no. So I posted it the next day, which was today. So that's gone to them, so hopefully they get that soon. And the last thing that sold was I think it's, let me just see what it's called. So it's a Castelli Cycling Team Sky 21st Century Navy baseball cap. So that came from a bundle of hats. They were £2 each. I think or there might have been £2 or £3, but I paid £10 for 5, so I got them all for £2, and that has gone for £17.99 plus postage. So really good markup on that one. Unfortunately, I think I forgot to record footage for that one, so I'll try and throw a picture or something on screen of it just so you can see what it looks like. But I always find with hats, if they're branded, they've got a sports team on, or they've got like a logo or something that is common that people have an interest in, then it sells well. If it's a completely random hat, or it's fake, or it's just something like tacky, then I wouldn't bother picking them up. Disney ones are good as well, so it all depends where they come from. If it's like a Disney hat and it's a genuine Disney hat from like the Disney store, you're looking at like 15-20 quid. If it's a licensed Disney hat and it's from like Primark, then it might only be worth a £5. So you do have to do your research and check, but rule of thumb, anything sports related or logo or brands, definitely pick up hats. Don't sleep on the hats. And that is everything that I sold today. The last couple of days, I posted that today on my lunch, so that's all really to say on that, other than I forgot to record a segment, so I do apologise. Hey guys, it's Thursday night and I just want to check in, and I'm going to go through the 3 sales that I've had over the last 24 hours. So I played football on Wednesday night, which was last night, and I got back late and it was dark, and as the winter nights come in, my garage is very, very cold. There's no heating in there, it's just solid brick, and it's very, very dark, dingy and cold, so I want to spend as little time in there as possible. As I got back fairly late from football, because it was like a 9 till 10 session, usually we book an hour earlier, I had my tea, and by the time it was time for bed, I was absolutely shattered. Didn't get my orders. Went and picked them in the morning. The neighbours were out next door, and we also live near a school, so there's lots of kids and children and stuff, and it's very difficult to record in the mornings. So I didn't manage to get any recording done, and I couldn't really do it at work either, as there's people in the office. So as a result, I'm going to have to go through the sales again as I did in the previous segment. So we've got 3 things that sold then. So the first one is The Last of Us Remastered, and this is a slipcover game from Game. Now I already have this in my collection, so I've got one on hand to show you. These were given out from Game for the greatest hits, or the PlayStation hits, and it's a celebration of games that have sold over a certain amount of copies on the PS4 that are only on PlayStation, and Game did 10 covers. Now I remember seeing them for ages, but the games were full price and the covers came free. They had a sale about 2 years ago, and I bought them all in the sale. They're about $7.99 each, but they all come with a cover. So I've got 9 out of 10 in my collection. I know Wayne's World has recently done a video on this I've been watching, which is pretty cool. So he found one and started collecting the whole set. So I think he's completed the set now. The one that I need is The Last Guardian, which is one of the hardest ones to get, which I think he had trouble finding as well. So now he's done that video and it's got a bit popular, I'm probably going to really struggle to find that cover, but hopefully in the next couple of years I'll keep an eye out. I'm not in a rush to get the whole set, so I'll be patient and hopefully I find that one. But that cover was a duplicate, so I found it in CEX for £10, and it came with the game, of course. So I've split the 2 up, so the cover cost me a £5, the game cost me a £5, and the cover went for 23 quid plus postage, which I'm really happy with. It had loads of watches, it was up for £25. I thought because of the amount of watches I'm not going to send an offer for 20, I'll just reduce it slightly. So I took the postage off, and with the postage combined it came to 25, so I took 2 quid off. So happy with that sale. The next one is from the watch bundle, and that is a Kenneth Cole leather watch strap. Now I spent quite a lot of time listing all of these watch straps. I think in the bundle I got 60, so I put them down as £1 each. I believe the guy threw the watch straps in for free, but in my spreadsheet I like to make sure everything has a price that I paid for it. So let's just say 60 quid for all the watch straps. Now I've definitely made my money back and then some on those, so I've probably sold about 20 of them, and I've been selling them for a tenner each, so I've easily made £200+ on those. Some of them have been going for more, so this one sold for £12.95. So after fees I'm getting about a tenner, and on the £10 ones I'll probably get about 8 quid. So really happy with the watch straps, those are selling quite well, and other than a couple of returns we've done quite well on them. And then the last thing that I sold is a set of 4 Hasbro Disney Frozen figures. Now I picked up a bundle of these from the car boot, a big bunch of figures, all Frozen, and there was some pop vinyl minis and a few other little bits, and I split them up into 4 or 5 different bundles, and this is one of the bundles, so it cost me 2 quid, and that's gone for £8. So not too bad in terms of markups and profits on those 3 items, much better than the start of the week, which we've had some pretty cheap sales. So let's hope we can do better tomorrow. So there's only 1 day left. I'm going bowling tomorrow for my boss's birthday, so I'm quite busy, but hopefully we can make a few good sales tomorrow. It's a bit of an unconventional posting time, but it's now 5:15 on a Friday, and it's been my boss's 30th birthday today, so we went bowling, and we've just got back a bit later than planned. So I've got my 3 parcels. One of them needs posting today, some needs posting Monday, so I'm going to make sure that these are posted before I go home. Right then guys, so I've got back, it's Friday evening, and I'm going to list some watches. So said numerous times on this channel, last year I bought a big watch bundle, and there was about 280 watches, probably about 60 watch straps, and a load of jewellery. So I haven't listed all of it yet because I just haven't had time. So probably half the watches are listed, and there's loads more to do. So one brand of the watches is Reebok, and I've probably got about 108, I think I counted, Reebok watches, and there's 10 per box, so I've got about 11 boxes of them. So my plan is throughout the rest of the month is to try and do 10 a day. So yesterday I drafted up 10 watches, and then my plan is to try and photograph them over the weekend, and tonight I'm going to try and draft another 10. So let me just show you what they are. So here's the box, and inside we have 10 watches. So what I tried to do to make my life easier, originally they were just 11 boxes with like up to 10 in them, and they were just jumbled up in different like styles and colours and stuff. So what I've tried to do is I've took them all out and put them all back in order. So for example, these two watches are the same model, different colours. So all I need to do is make one listing as grey and then duplicate the listing, make it blue. And then these 6 were all the same watch. So it's one listing, duplicate it 6 times, change the colours. And then these 2 were 2 different styles, so there was like 4 different listings I had to manually make. Now the tedious thing with the watches is that each watch has to have specific measurements. So the distance between here and here is called the lug width, and that is a specific width. So if someone wants a new watch strap, it has to be a certain millimeter length that they buy to fit the watch strap. And the actual strap itself has a measurement, then the dial has a measurement, then you've got the dial colour, which is the black part there, and then you've got the bezel colour, which would be gold. So there's a lot of item specifics to go into watches, which is really fiddly, and it can take quite a long time to list even just one listing. So it's really handy that a lot of these are a similar brand and style so that I can just duplicate the listing. So yeah, that's what I drafted last night, and tonight I'm going to pick another box at random, so let's just do that now, shall we? So in this cupboard, for the time being, there's a load of crap shoved in here, but I'm going to pick a box at random. So this actually should help me. This came with the watches, so some of the watches may be on here, so it might give me a bit of a heads up on what they are, but this is the other box. So then this is my next victim. This is box number 2. So what I'm going to do is put in here number 2 and then the other one number 1, and then when I open it up I will have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Then on my draft, on my SKU system, I can put, for example, box 2, watch 7, and then I know when it sells, this is box 2 and this is watch 7, so it'll be this one that I need to pick out. Now as you can see, similar brands again. So this one is a really nice one. There's only one of those. I think I might have some more in another box and that was an overflow, I'm not sure. But as I said, some of them are quite similar. So I think these 2 are the same watch, just different designs. Those 2 are the same. I've just noticed there's a second one there, and then these 2 are the same, and so are those. So there's probably about 3 or 4 different listings again in this one, maybe 5, but that shouldn't take me too long, and then that's 20 watches then. So if I photograph these, it probably takes about 3 minutes because you've got to do every angle of the watch. So if I say half an hour to the photograph, that's an hour's work, and then maybe an hour to draft all these up. So 2 hours work, I can get 20 listings up. So what I'm going to do now is quickly nip into the garage and I'm going to get some labels so that I can write 1 to 10 on there and the box number. And then also we've sold one more item, which is a video game disc only, so I'm going to quickly grab that. Now it is 5:45 on a Friday, so I'd imagine we might sell 1 or 2 more things this evening before we wrap up the week. So hopefully we get a few more sales. So far this week it's been pretty quiet on eBay. I've had enough sales, like a daily sale. I haven't really had many blank days. Maybe Tuesday, I think I didn't sell anything on Wednesday, but everything else I've sold some stuff, but just not great stuff, and a lot of it has been cheap. So there's not really too much profit on the cards for this week unless something good sells tonight. That's a little bit better. The camera quality in this room is absolutely horrendous. I do apologise about that. So yeah, that is one of the things I want to get done next year, is actually buy a proper dedicated camera, or at least upgrade my phone so that I have more storage so that I can record in a better quality, because unfortunately a lot of the videos I make are in fairly standard definition because my phone is quite old and it only has set storage and there's no memory card option, so I just have to make do with what I have. Next year though, I'm hoping on getting a proper camera, so hopefully the quality of the videos improves. So I'm really sorry if that segment was really AIDS, but yeah, that's just what it is. So I'm going to go grab that disc and we'll round up the week, I think. Right then, while I'm in the garage I might as well show you the disc. It's a little messy at the moment, so I do apologise, but the disc will be in here, and it is Dead or Alive 6 on the PlayStation 4. Now, I think this cost me £8, and it came with a steelbook, which I sold separately, and the disc only is here. Might have been £12 actually I paid for it. So this has gone for £12.45, so it was at most 12, it might have been 8. Now I've sold the disc for £12.45, so I pretty much got my money back, and I've still got the steelbook to sell, or it might have actually sold already, I'm not too sure. But the steelbook I know is listed for like £14, so between the two I can double my money. And these are the labels I was looking for. So I can put like box 1, box 2, and then just cut these in half and do 1, 2, 3, 4, etc. And then I can label all the watches up. Or actually, these might be better for the watches. This cost me £1 from the car boot, so I could just put these little circle stickers on, and that might be easier actually. Hey guys, and welcome to the end of the video. This is the results part of the video where I go over everything that has sold. I'll tell you how much has sold, and I will tell you exactly how much profit I've made as well. So let's just get straight into it. So 15 items I've sold this week. We've had quite a few cheap items. So the first 6 sales of the week, the order earnings were pretty low, and I hadn't really sold anything of value over like £10, so everything was, profit-wise, was a bit crap. It picked up towards the end of the week, and we sold some decent items and made some decent profit. So let's see how much we actually made. So gross sales was £202.34, which isn't too bad. Fees this week was £30.56, and the postage was £32.75. So the fees and postage fairly cheap this week. And the cost to buy wasn't too high either, at just £52.95. So I paid £52.95 for 15 items that have sold. However, I brought in £202 worth of sales overall, so I have quadrupled my money in that sense. However, you've got to take all the fees and everything else off, as well as the cost to buy. So actual profit overall, I've received £86.28. So that's not too bad. However, I do set myself a target of £100, so it's disappointing this week that I haven't reached that. £100 is just a target for me to make it worthwhile to do this as a side hustle. I have to invest time to make the videos, list the items, clean the items, test the items, buy the items, etc. So if I'm not making £100 a week consistently, then I have to ask myself the question, is it worth doing it? So it has been the last couple of weeks. I've had some really good weeks, some really good sales, really good profit. Some weeks I've hit £200-300 profit. However, this week has been a bit of a disappointing one, but I'm going to try and bounce back. So I've got loads of watches drafted and listed today. So rather than taking images, I've been downloading stock photos because technically the items are new. However, I am describing them as new old stock, so what I will be doing is photographing them as well, but I'm just putting a stock image for the time being just to get them listed, and then I can edit the listing and add my actual photographs. It might seem a little bit pointless because now they're listed, the motivation to photograph them kind of diminishes, but at the same time I've listed 30 watches now, so that's 30 watches that have gone up on my store this week. They're all averaging around £30 to £40, maybe £50 each. So I'm not sure they're going to sell for that much, but I'm going to aim fairly high, and then I can always lower it. But as it gets closer to Christmas, I'll definitely be reducing them a bit if they haven't all sold. So I'm pleased with the progress I've made on the watch bundle, because that is a big stress for me. That is something that I spent a lot of money on last year that I just haven't had time to invest properly into getting them all listed and sorted. I've now come up with a system of how to better research the items, how to list the items quicker, etc. It was a bit overwhelming at first, and it was an area that I never really listed stuff and bought stuff in that category before. So it was a big learning curve, and it was very tedious and time consuming to begin with, and that just put me off sort of listing them going forward. But now it's time to roll my sleeves up and actually get going. So I'm booked a day off next week off work, and I'm going to spend the whole day listing watches and jewellery and just see if and how much I can make before Christmas. So 15 sales, £86.26 overall, so that is me done for this week. Sorry, it's been a pretty short episode, but that's, there's not really much going on. So 3 games bought and loads of watches listed and 15 sales. So thank you very much for watching, and I will see you on next week's episode. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe, and I'll see you soon.